Tonight on the North American Friends Movie Club.
A father bursts into flames.
A son jumps out a window.
And a young lady gets a pretty serious bonk on the head.
We watched the 2018 psychological horror film, Hereditary.
So draw some spooky movie triangles on your floor.
And light some spooky movie candles to set the mood. Because
October
is for skeletons, but it's also for movies.
This is what it sounds like when we do a podcast. We're currently doing one. This is the North American Friends Movie Club, and you might notice something about the name of our show, and that's Friends comes before Movie Club. So I have to ask my two ghostly friends, how we booing?
Ooh.
I think instead, I think we should do a lot of ghost noises.
Yeah,
I agree.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay. I got sick last night. I threw up. The old dog threw up last night. Yeah.
Is it after watching this movie?
Ooh, no. I had a cold all week, and I tested for COVID yesterday, negative. And I was watching TV last night, and I felt a little nauseous. So I said, I'm going to go to bed. I listened to my little audiobook, and I went to sleep. And I woke up 3 times through the night to go to the bathroom to throw up. And you know that feeling where you're hot and clammy and sweaty and cold and pale?
Yes.
And the only thing that feels good is laying next to the toilet on the floor?
No.
Yeah, that's a big time thing. People will understand.
The cold floor. Yeah.
Yes,
Kate's acted better than me. That's fine. That's totally fine. I guarantee you've laid on the floor next to the toilet.
Sick. You were feeling very sick.
Yeah, and then the only thing that cures you is laying on the floor next to the toilet.
Touch that cold porcelain.
That specific feeling of the hot, sweaty, you're going to throw up, die feeling. The only known cure is laying on a bathroom floor next to the toilet.
No, the cure for that is vomiting everything that's in your stomach.
But when I vomit, I break all the blood vessels in my face, and I look like I got something wrong with me for 4 days. So I can't do that. I have to avoid throwing up. Constantly.
You have to throw up daintily.
And that's so hard to do. And I tried to do that last night, and it was just kind of like, and it just didn't work. Because if I try to force it out, I break all the blood vessels in my face, and then I can't look at myself for a couple days.
Maybe you just need to relax when you puke. Just like fucking chill when you're puking.
I feel like my whole body. I feel like if I do that, everything's gonna come out everywhere. I'm going to shit myself, piss myself, and throw up at the same time.
If you're too relaxed.
Yeah.
That's why you sit on the toilet with something in front of you and just like, like.
We should have there should be an arm on the toilet that you can swing in front of your face, so you can sit on the toilet and then swing out the puke arm so that you're like covered at all times.
Do you know how triggering this conversation is to so many people? There are people that are really cannot listen to anything about that, or they will also.
Then that's fine.
I'm not one of them people. Did you hear it? I'm not one of them people.
Like food allergy people, we don't get attached to these people because who knows what's going to happen to them. The problem, the scientists should recreate the environment of laying on the floor next to your toilet and put that into like a bed or a special area you can go into and throw up into. Anyway.
A vomitorium.
A vomitorium.
I'm so glad you brought that up, Kate. As a Caligula fan, I'm just really glad you brought that up.
Is vomitorium a thing?
It was in ancient Rome.
Oh, okay.
Because you would gorge yourself so much that you would puke. And that was like a sign of, you've really...
Decadence.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the word.
I wasn't feeling good, and I decided to eat a chicken quesadilla before I go to sleep. I thought that would settle my stomach, and it didn't. And then the thing I really want to talk about is I tweeted about it earlier last week, and I can't stop thinking about it, that the most stylish and comfortable clothes are wasted on babies.
You've talked about this before.
Did I? Well, it's getting back because I saw a baby the other day in a store, and the mother picked the baby up, and the baby just, had no head control, just one of those babies, right? Just all the same shape from head to toe, cylinder style. And that baby got picked up, and I've never seen a more stylish and comfortable outfit. Pants around the big baby belly looked so comfortable and fitting, and fit right to the ankle, like they were tailored perfectly. And the shirt had little cowboy hats on it.
Oh.
And it was tucked into the comfortable looking jeans with the elastic. And I was like, oh my God, I would fucking kill for that outfit. Why did we stop caring? Why?
Why? Because people don't want to look like the baby. But
why?
I think you can. Go for it.
Who gets more pictures taken at event? When do you get the most pictures taken at any age group?
Baby.
Exactly. Who goes crazy? What age group gets the most attention from people?
I couldn't answer that one.
Babies and old people, but
babies and old people.
Different reasons. People love babies. They love the outfits. They love the clothes. And so why did we stop? Why did we stray from that? When did the elastic fall out of fashion?
I don't think it has.
Didn't not in my house.
I owe my life to elastic. No,
like for real, bro.
Maybe it's me. Maybe I have to incorporate more elastic into my life. I don't know.
I mean, I'm a big believer in that.
Old people. I'm around a lot of old people that are just chilling now, and they are wearing a lot of sweatpants with shirts tucked in them. That's it is comfortable and it's functional. Why? The
one thing that babies get to do that I would really like is they get to wear outfits that are like animals. Like it's a bear coat and you pull the hood up and then the bear's ears and little nose are on the hood. I'm like, fuck, that's cool.
Why did we stop this? Why did we stray?
I don't know.
Do you know how much I would love to wear a shirt with popsicles on it? That'd be fucking amazing.
You can do that. There's that style around.
Yeah, but you can't do it to work or a business meeting. Like, picture being in a business meeting and being in a head-to-toe one-piece
bear
outfit, and it has pictures of briefcases on it because you're at work.
There are people that are furries that are like animal people, and they would like.
I think that's why I don't want to do it. Is the furries, because I'm like, I don't want to be confused as a furry. I'm like, no, I'm a baby.
No,
don't get it twisted.
My point's going to be muddied by Nate with the animal thing. I'm not talking about being a furry. I'm talking about wearing appropriate, comfortable clothes. Like, you're at work, you wear a full, like, onesie with briefcases on them, or notepads on them, or adding machines on them. You know, you go to church, you want to wear a comfortable outfit, you have crosses on it. Or you're at the beach and you got a little, like, fucking a pail
Sharks.
and bucket. No, sharks.
Okay.
Again, with the animals, Nate, you gotta get away from the animals. But I feel like we have to, sometimes to move forward, you have to go back. And I feel like this is the next evolution of clothing, is we have to take a step back and do whatever we do with the babies.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear you. I am supportive of this.
And we should have a bag. We should have a bag. Like a baby has bags with wipes and different changes of outfits and stuff. We should have that too.
I'm here for that.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to continue to wear comfortable clothing.
It's not just comfortable, but clothing that represents what you're doing. Like, when a baby's going to the beach because,
oh yeah. Oh, you know.
So if I'm being a therapist, then it would be a shirt with couches on it.
Or glasses.
Or Freud.
Yep.
Or Freud. Okay,
Freud on a couch with glasses.
Oh.
Funny.
Yeah.
I should get a shirt. I think my clients would think that was funny. Would you think it was funny if you show up and your therapist is wearing a shirt that says, "I'm listening"?
Yes.
I was just going to say, if you were wearing like a Hawaiian shirt, but it was Frasier's face, I'd be into that.
Hawaiian shirt, but it's Frasier's face. Oh no.
No one everyone takes babies seriously, and babies have I
take them very seriously.
Yes, and because you have to, or they'll die. And that's another thing. This is another thing I just thought of. Oh my God. Listen, we are the superior species in mammals. We are the highest of the food chain. Would you not agree?
I definitely agree with that.
Like,
Yes.
definitely, like a mountain cat could take us out, but we know we have ways around the mountain cat thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they live in fear of us, if anything.
Can you guys think of any other animal or species that can't survive on their own besides babies?
No, the other animals are a lot quicker.
All young mammals need to be protected.
No, I'm pretty sure there's mammals that just leave the babies and the babies figure it out. Like, aren't turtles that way?
Well, they're not mammals. They come from eggs.
Aren't fish
Again,
like that?
Again, we're dissecting everything with a very tight, a very sharp scalpel
You
right
guys,
now.
I have something I want to talk about.
Okay.
But if we want to continue,
No, you guys ruined it with that. So
I told you earlier that I had to get new tires.
yeah.
And I also live a block from this place called Seventh Heaven in Kansas City. And it's been around for 50 years and it's closing. And it's a giant record store and like all their records are 50% off. And it's very sad it's closing.
Mhm.
Okay. So anyway, I thought that would be a topic of conversation with my local car guy who's across the street from Seventh Heaven.
Fair.
And I'm like, hey, isn't that sad about Seventh Heaven? And he's like, looked at me with a blank face and like, he was like, what are you talking about? And I explained, I say, well, Seventh Heaven across the street from right here where you work. And he was like, oh yeah. I was like, they're going out of business. They've been around for 50 years. And he was like, oh yeah. And I was like, yeah, they sell like all these great records. And I was like, they also sell smoking paraphernalia and pornography. And he perked up.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah. Yeah. So did I.
and then
Yes.
he looked at me and he was like, oh really? Well, I'll have to check that out then.
See, all of music that exists didn't get them.
No.
Smoking paraphernalia and pornography. Okay.
What an
Oh
odd
my
reaction, though. That's an odd. I find that an odd reaction. Like, why would you? What was it?
It was notable. That's why I remembered it.
Do you think if a male told him, he would make the same reaction?
I don't know. I don't know. He has flirted with me before when I've
There
been
you
up
go.
there, but
There you go.
I don't think he remembers me.
You're memorable. He would have remembered you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not walking in there memorably. You know what I mean? I'm not wearing my red lipstick when I'm walking into Midas.
Well, that's why you're paying full price for tires,
Yeah.
Kate. Think
Oh,
it through.
shit.
Sucker.
Oh shit!
If I'm going to get tires, I got red lipstick on, a white tank top with no bra. And that's what I'm doing.
Oh, gross!
That's
No
not gross.
way.
You saw it. He lost his mind over the pornography. You would have got 8 tires.
I don't. I got so many tires.
Yeah. You go in there with a white tank top and red lipstick on, you would have had to call Nick to pick up the extra tires that you got. Like, I need help here.
Oh goodness, that made me laugh. Oh yeah. Well, darn it. No, I already
That's-
paid for them.
Well, this is
Lesson learned.
Lesson learned for real. Nate, 2 questions. First one, have you flirted with anyone? And second, how's your streak going?
Streak is. I haven't flirted. No more flirting than normal. My normal amount of flirting. Streak is going good. 259 yesterday. I completed.
That's awesome.
I have been on. I get into this. I don't know what mental condition you call it, but I get into these phases where I'm like just on 110% from the moment I wake up until the moment I go to bed. And the last week and a half, I've just like not stopped moving, and I love it. When I'm in the middle of it, I'm just like, oh yes, let's go. I fucking reorganized my whole garage. I built my table saw into my workbench. I like built this rolling cart for my tools. I've been writing music. I've been writing scripts. I'm fucking going crazy.
Love that hypomania. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And I like know that it's not what it's supposed to be, but also that I don't want it to stop.
No. The thing about hypomania is like There doesn't necessarily have to be a horrible downside if you can just manage, if you can just prepare that it's going to slow down, and that doesn't mean that you don't like fucking shit on yourself because you're not being as productive. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
fucking use that shit. I call it getting wind in my sails.
Yeah, that's how it feels. I feel like I'm just like, my brain is usually at 20%, and now I'm at like 98%, and I'm like seeing the wind and smelling the sun, and I'm just like, yes.
Ritalin or something?
It's what it feels like. It's like I never ever take stimulants because I get like this naturally where I'm like just flying.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like I stayed up a whole night one night, just did not go to sleep.
Oh man, well, don't fucking crash, man.
No, my eye got real weird after that. It was real sore and like twitchy. So then I was like, I better go to sleep.
So you have slept.
Yeah, and then I slept like 12 hours on Friday night.
There you go. Oh man, Nate. Surf the waves, man. It's awesome.
Speaking of surfing the waves, it's the first movie of the month for October. Scary season, big boy scary movies. It was my pick, and I picked the movie Hereditary. And there's only one thing to do after that, and that's to have Catherine tell us what happened in the movie Hereditary.
So I'm gonna use Wikipedia to help me.
Okay.
Miniature artist Annie Graham lives with her psychiatrist husband Steve and their 2 kids, 16-year-old Peter and 13-year-old Charlie. And they go to the funeral of Annie's weird mom, Ellen. And they're surprised that there's like all these people at this funeral. And then Annie goes to a support group and talks about how she has a weird relationship with her mom, and that Charlie was really close to her mom. And then we find out someone desecrated her mom's her grave. So then Peter, the teenage son, is invited to a party, and Annie makes him bring his sister Charlie to this party, and Charlie doesn't want to go, and he doesn't want Charlie to go, but they go, and then she eats some cake that has nuts in it, and she's allergic to nuts, and she starts to go into anaphylactic shock. And so he's fucking freaking out because he's gotten super duper high, and they get into their car. He's like racing down the road, and her head's sticking out of the car trying to breathe, and he swerves to miss something, and she's decapitated. And he goes into fucking a dissociative state and drives back home with her headless body in the back of the car, to which Annie finds her decapitated daughter in there. It's fucked up. Okay, so then she meets this lady at the support group who teaches her about seances. And so Annie does a seance and speaks to Charlie. But what ends up happening is they figure out that the mom is a witch. And the ending is the most fucked up because Annie decapitates herself using wire, going back and forth and back and forth. And the scariest part of the movie is, I think, when Annie floats up decapitated to worship the god Panem, the 7th king of hell, or what is it?
That's the
Paimon.
Panem is what's the country in
Hunger Games.
Hunger Game is. Go ahead.
Yeah.
And so Peter's dead, right?
Yeah, Peter jumps out the window.
And then he is reanimated by the spirit of this king of hell, who the witches have conjured because the conjurer receives riches. And so it was, I don't know, that it's a really, really crazy movie.
You did a great job. It's an insane movie, and the story is insane.
Yeah. Great job, Kate.
Well, why don't we go ahead and talk about our favorite parts? Because that would be much easier than what I just did.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so I don't know. I've watched this movie a couple days ago, and I don't know where I still don't know where I land on it. Do you guys find it scary?
Yes.
It's definitely a scary movie for sure.
Okay.
Yes.
It's also an incredibly well-made movie.
Yeah.
I was really admiring the thought and effort that was put into making a scary movie, because usually scary movies are not put together that thoughtfully. They're like, the acting's mediocre and the costumes are mediocre and the sets are mediocre and it's filmed mediocre and it's all about like shocking you and scaring you. And this is like, every detail of this movie is so intentional. It's like super fucked up Wes Anderson or something like that. I was shocked by how much effort went into making this insanely fucked up movie.
And the acting is so good. The acting is so good in this movie, and Toni Collette is crazy. Like, I believe she's a crazy person. Like,
And she has such a hard character to play because she's so deeply unlikable.
yeah.
And the movie takes a long time to kind of explain her past to let you understand, like, why is she like this? It's almost like it does this bait and switch with you where you think she's like the bad one the whole movie. You're like, I hate her. She's a bad mother. She's a bad partner. Sometimes she's like super immature. And then as the movie goes on, you're like, wait a minute, her mom fucking sold her entire family to the devil for hell money. Like, yeah, of course she's fucked up. Like, what?
Oh, it's so crazy.
I think that's my problem with it. I didn't know anything about this movie.
Yeah.
I didn't read about it before I watched it. I just threw it on. And by the time it got to where it had to go, I was like, holy fuck, we're like an hour in. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And I was like,
its time.
It's so slow. And I was like, oh, fuck. But then after that, I'm like, this is fucking great. This is fantastic. This is right up my alley. Ancient kings of hell, and you have to pay them, and you're got no people's heads are falling off, and like she cut her head off with wire, and the last 40 minutes I was fully in, but that first hour I was like, I don't know about this movie.
It's just so hard to watch. The first hour of this movie is so hard to watch because it's like a family tragedy after family tragedy after family tragedy. Like that, she wails for a good 2 minutes of Toni Collette wailing, like over multiple scenes. Like she goes from.
And that is hard to listen to. To me, that is part of the scariness of this movie, is how real that shit sounded to me. Like, that's terrifying. I don't know. Like, I think the thing that's scary about scary movies is like pretending that it could really happen. And this one felt like it could really happen. Like, there was and I think it was because it was shot so like straight down the nose. Like, you see everything and you see these horrible things happen, and I want to talk about it again. She uses piano wire or something to saw her own head off.
Yeah.
So the only other I watched a movie. It was oh god, I can't remember. It was a recent one, and it was like a Western, and it was something crazy like that happened.
Bone Tomahawk.
Bone Tomahawk. Yeah.
That's what you're talking about.
What happened in Bone Tomahawk? I forget.
He chopped a guy in half. He chops a guy in half in Bone Tomahawk. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. That was on the same level to me. It's crazy to see that. Because you know what? That's what it would look like. Like,
so
sorry.
No, this movie's very hard to talk about because like it's so fucked up.
The noise that Kate made at the end sums up the movie. Yeah. Oh.
I am not into being scared. I hate being scared. I also hate watching families in turmoil. These are two things that I cannot almost ever stand to participate in. And yet, this movie has a secret that I cannot resist, which is lore. This movie, after I watched this movie, I watched about 6 hours of YouTube lore videos about what the fuck is going on in this movie. And like, as every second went by, I liked the movie more and more. I'm like, yes, tell me more about Paimon, the demon from hell. Tell me more.
That's what I
What
had to
did
do
you learn?
afterwards.
I can answer any question you have about this movie, about what happens in this movie, about who did what at what time, when the devil possesses who, what all the symbolism means. I feel I'm prepared for anywhere this conversation could go.
Why
you better win the quiz, bud.
Why do people catch on fire when the drawings got catch on fire?
Okay, so at that point in the movie, okay, I'll say this because I think this is really it helped me a lot understand this movie more. Ari Aster had a quote where he was like, "This is a movie about sacrificial lambs from the perspective of the lamb." So you're like watching this family being sacrificed, and it's all set in motion already. Nothing that they do is really the reason that this happens. It's like everything that their grandma did before the movie started is what is going on, and they're all just being manipulated by the cult. So at that point in the movie,
I just got the name of the movie.
Hereditary.
There's nothing they could have done anyway because it was already happening from the grandmother, and they inherited this fucking
generational
devil.
trauma.
Oh
yes.
Fuck hell yeah! This is a good movie now.
At that point in the movie, when Toni Collette thinks that there's like rules attached to this demon, she's like, well, when I threw the book in the fire, I started on fire. So there must be some like logic to this. That was just Paimon fucking with her. That was her being like, no, you can't burn this. And then when the dad throws the book in the fire, he's like, sure, I can do whatever the fuck I want. I'm going to light him on fire instead. And it's such an amazing bait and switch because you think, when she grabs the book from him and throws it in the fire, you really think that she's going to start on fire. And it's just so shocking how the minute she throws it in the fire, he just bursts into flames.
Yes.
It's one of the craziest shots in any movie. Incredibly, like, just that image will stick with you forever. But it's all about, at that moment, it's like, there are no rules. He's the devil. And now he's in the house. Now he's in their minds. Now he's in the house. It's all, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. And he's just fucking with them.
Terrible. Terrifying. This movie's terrifying. I thought it was scary. I watched it in the daytime because I didn't want to watch it at night.
Same. On the treadmill. And I still was scared. I still was like, ah.
We're such pansies, but I don't care. I like being scared and I like to manage it. And so if I watch a movie through my fingers, then I watch a movie through my fingers. But I did not do that on this last viewing of it. I watched it fully with both eyes open and both hands down.
It makes more sense with what Nate said about how they didn't do anything. Was just already, the wheels were already in motion. Because usually movies like they did something or something happened, but this is just
some reason
from the lambs. Okay, I really like this movie now with that part explained to me.
And even the jump scares are earned. So there's this one right at the end of the movie, and I didn't realize this until I watched some videos about it, and I was like, oh my God, this movie is so incredible. But there's a part where at the very end of the movie, once the dad has already been lit on fire and Peter walks into his grandma's room, which is supposed to be locked, and now the door's open, and he walks in there, and then he hears like a thunk. And it's like just a straight up sound jump scare where you're like, thunk, like what the fuck? Yeah. And then if you listen to it, it's the sound of Toni Collette opening the piano and pulling the piano wire out of the piano.
That's cool.
That is cool.
And then you can hear the piano. Like when you listen to it, you're like, oh my God, that's what that is. Every single thing in this movie is there thoughtfully placed.
It is so scary. Like, I know I keep talking about it, but it's all in some kind of like, okay, so remember how Oh Brother, Where Art Thou was like kind of brown and had like sepia tone on it. This one was kind of like green, blue, black. Like even in school, when he's in school, or like when there was a, I don't know, you know what I mean? So it had a mood to it, and it was like,
There's a lot of stuff with color in this movie. So like Payman's colors are blue and gold, and when you see that little blue light shimmer thing, that's like Payman going into different bodies and being around and manipulating people.
Okay.
I knew that. I had
I
that.
didn't know.
So the one thing that I did not catch at all is that the daughter, Charlie, is Payman from the beginning. She was like, since she's been a baby, she has been Payman, just waiting to get into a male host. And so she is like confused about it a bit because she's a child, and it's like, it's like she's not like a fully adult demon in a child's body. She's like a demon that's in a child's body trying to figure out like where he is and what's going on, and like not understanding that. I did not catch that at all. Like that did not enter into my mind at all watching this movie.
Okay, so that makes sense to me too now, and now I have to rewatch it. I have to rewatch it now. Now I know all this information, and because to me, I wrote my first note was just bad vibes family. I just thought they were just a bunch of fucking idiots and weirdos. I was like, oh,
for sure, bad luck.
Yeah, I
Real
was like,
bad luck.
rough. Don't hang out with those people. But now it all makes sense because they're all under the possession of the devil. Okay, and here's this isn't no. I don't think you have anything to explain this. But the father was maybe you do. The father was the coldest man alive.
Yeah, he was real turned off.
No, I mean like he was always worried about being cold. Like there was 5 separate occasions where he said, "It's too cold." He said it's too cold for Charlie to sleep up there. When Toni Collette was getting out of bed in the middle of the night, he said it's going to be too cold out there.
Well, you could think about it like, so Toni Collette's mother was obviously a horrible monster who sold her family to the devil for hell money.
Well, maybe she was already.
She was like cold, taught them like that the comfort of her child didn't matter to her. So Toni Collette definitely absorbed that. And the dad is the only person in the movie who cares about anybody. Like they all come home from the funeral and the dad is the only one who pets the dog. And he's the only one who's like, take your shoes off in the house. He's the only one who's paying attention to the like comfort of the family because nobody else in the family has that, like understands that because of the generational trauma.
But wasn't there a child who died first, or Annie's brother, or?
So yeah, Annie's brother was the first target for the grandma to stick Payman into. She tried to use the brother as the host for Payman. The brother lost his mind and killed himself because he was like, mom is putting people in me. She says like something like that. And then her dad starved himself, obviously, because at some point his wife started being married to the devil.
Yes.
Her dad starved himself?
Yeah, starved himself.
Weird.
Oh, this movie has to be rewatched. Maybe he was cold all the time because of the devil being in the house.
Also possible.
Okay.
But this is not the devil. This is a king of hell. But like, if we're gonna, like, I thought this was, I don't know. Now
you're trying to piss. You're trying to piss off the bad spirits. You call if the guy goes by the name King. If the guy is the king of hell,
he's one of the kings of hell. Yeah, and then there's like the god of hell, who's the devil. But then he's got his like generals. He's got his boys.
But what if rejected angels that the names is devils?
That's what they say. Okay. That's kind of the mythology.
Then we're saying that possessed by the devil. You're like, no, it's not the big guy.
It was one of the minor devils.
Yeah, he's a lesser devil. Part of the middle management.
I felt so bad for the dad. I was like, Just
Oh.
imagine being like a normal person in this family, and you're just like, he does have that scene where he just starts crying in the car. I'm like, yeah, bud, I feel you.
Yes.
Man. Like, this is a lot.
my
This is a
God.
lot to deal with.
It is a lot to deal
I
with.
hated him, but now after talking to you two, I'm like, oh, I'm totally misunderstood him, and I'd be much worse than him.
And she had already gone crazy before. So, she had to be hospitalized, right? Before, don't we know that?
Yeah, and there's at least the suggestion that like she was subconsciously realizing that the kids were going to be sacrificed, and that's why she was trying to like light them on fire. Where she says she was sleepwalking and she drenched the kids in lighter fluid. I think you could suggest that that's like her subconsciously realizing what's happening and trying to prevent it, but it's like you can't consciously do that because it's so horrible.
Yes.
And how she
Wow.
would let Charlie play with or go see the grandmother, but not the
Yeah,
son.
but she didn't let her son spend any time with the grandma.
Is it the male host thing?
Yeah.
Wow, this movie's fantastic.
But did she know that? But did
Yes.
she know that about the male host?
Subconsciously.
Oh.
She knew all along what was happening.
Very interesting.
Why were some people naked?
Well, that's just like what you do if you're a witch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're into like sex magic, you know?
Well, that sounds cool.
If you're going to be into magic.
It might as well be into sex magic.
And then there's this whole thing in this movie that I didn't notice that I had to be pointed out. Go ahead.
I have a sex magic joke. In sex magic, 1 + 1 = 0. No, 1 + 1 = 1. Get it? Me, the guy, and the girls 1 + 1 together.
But then they become one. Okay.
Having sex.
Yeah, sex magic math is 1 + 1 = 1.
Sex magic math. Oh no.
The dollhouse thing, you guys know how I love miniature stuff.
Yep.
Oh, and she made some great miniatures. That one where she did the decapitation scene was especially like, Jesus Christ,
the
lady.
minute I see my child's headless in the bed as a miniature, I'm like, okay, maybe we should do a legal separation for a little bit.
Yeah, he was mad. That was the first time the movie was like, he's like, I don't care if you come to dinner, like, you crazy lady.
But there is meatloaf downstairs if you want it.
Yeah. And then I think there's the theme. I think that theme projects to the greater movie where the family is living in a dollhouse that the Satanists are playing with. And there's all these allusions in the movie that the cult members are like creeping around the house. Like there's one moment where the dad's always like talking about how there's always muddy footprints in the house. And I think they're suggesting that there's other people that have been around and in the house and fucking with stuff, setting this whole thing up. And then I didn't see this anywhere, but something that I noticed is they have all these great shots, exterior shots of the house. Especially they do this really cool transition thing where it'll be like nighttime and then the light switch will like switch it immediately to day or from day to night. I think that's cool. But one thing I noticed about all those shots of the house was that the trees are like completely still always. So it super looks like the house is a model, like a scale model. I was like, fuck, this is so good. And I just want to say I would like Ari Aster to use his powers for good instead of evil. Just one time. He's obviously like this crazy talented filmmaker and he only makes insane movies, but I would just love him to put this much effort into a normal movie.
A
just
baseball
one time.
movie. A baseball movie.
Just let me see him do a baseball movie. Let me see what he does with this level of like commitment to making an incredible movie.
See, I missed all this stuff
point.
and I love it. And I can't wait now to rewatch this movie. Nate, this guy should hire you. Like
as his advocate.
M. Night Shyamalan should hire me and Ari Aster should hire you.
And I didn't realize he did Midsummer, and I've never seen Beau is Afraid.
I won't watch Beau is Afraid. I did watch Midsummer, and then I watched this like 4-hour video that this guy made on Hereditary, and he made one on Midsummer as well, and I've been watching that one, and it's done the same thing like that it did for Brent, where it's like I didn't really like Midsummer the first time I watched it, but now I'm like, shit, maybe I got to rewatch this again with all this context and information, and it's like this guy is pretty fucking good at making movies. Maybe I should watch this one.
Why won't you watch Beau is Afraid?
The length, one, I'm like, I could, the 2 hours of this was a marathon to like emotionally go through that a 3-hour version of this kind of insanity. I'm like, I just can't do that. And Joaquin, I love him when I love him, but when I don't love him, it does not work for me at all. And I'm scared that that would be one where it's not working for me.
I see. Oh, it is long. It's 179 minutes.
Yeah, that's long.
That's damn long. Do we have a quiz?
We have a quiz. I don't have a name for it though. Let me come up with something really quick.
It's the Hereditary 10.
No, 7. Hereditary 7. No.
It's the Hereditary 7.
No,
Hereditary 7.
I can't think of anything because now I just realized Gabriel Byrne. He burned in the movie.
Bam.
That's
best.
We're gonna name this
one.
quiz Gabriel Byrne.
Gabriel.
Okay. See, my brain. I hate my brain sometimes.
Don't you dare say that.
I do,
Don't
because
you dare say
I can't concentrate on thinking of a name for the Hereditary quiz because I just realized that Gabriel Byrne, he burned in the movie.
No, Brent, put down the piano wire. No.
No, don't do it.
Wouldn't that be a wicked notification sound for your phone? The sound of the piano wire.
I don't like that. Oh God,
That'd be
and it was
awesome.
like a sawing noise. Like,
and she's just the look on her face, like she's like staring at the kid, and it's almost like you can see her trapped inside. Like she can't control herself anymore, but she's still so scared. Like, ah.
Are we ready for the question number 1?
yes.
The old bitch that brought all this trauma onto this family died. Her funeral was at a funeral home. What was the name of the funeral home that the mother was buried in or waked in? Was it Tyson's, or Heritage Haven, Kingstone's, Worthington's? And we're starting off with Kate this week.
I'm guessing Worthington's.
Okay.
What was the one with the H? Heaven something or
Heritage Haven.
Okay, Heritage Haven.
Okay. Much like Paimon, the riches go to the good. I don't know. One for me. One for Brent.
One for Brent.
You guys are both wrong. It was Kingstone's.
Gone forever.
Kingstone.
Yeah.
Heritage Haven sounds like a church camp. That was
This did remind me. Go ahead.
No, I just think that was a good made-up name.
It was good.
Yeah, I did good.
This question reminded me of actually one of my favorite parts of the movie that I forgot to mention, where it's when the dad gets a phone call and it's the like graveyard, and the kid's like, it's the graveyard on the phone for you, and the guy takes the phone, he walks down the hall and he goes, yes, grave desecrated, you say? It's just such a funny way to like do that exposition and be like, desecrated, you say? Yes, indeed. Oh, well, okay, I'll call you back.
It's like that the joke from Futurama, the professor guy, the doctor, or the professor, the old guy, where he's talking about, and how did he do? In shreds, you say.
Oh, how awful. Did he at least die painlessly? To shreds, you say. Well, how is his wife holding up? To shreds, you say.
Okay, question number 2. Her very first time going to the meeting of the people, the grief meeting, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
She's sitting there telling her story after some prodding. What was the order of the people next to her? Was it guy on right, girl on left? Was it guy on left, girl on right? 2 guys or 2 women? Nathan. She was in between what order of gender?
Guy on left, girl on right.
Yep.
That's what I say too.
Payman's up there rubbing his belly and laughing, and the hooves are clicking because that's 2 for Brent.
Wow.
It was guy on right, girl on left.
Gone forever.
forever.
On her right
Yep.
or our right?
Her right.
Oh, see, I was thinking it the opposite way. I
Well,
swear,
you know,
I will accept it wrong. I will accept that I got it wrong. But I just want everyone to know that in my mind, I was thinking I'm looking at her, and the guy is on the left, and the girl is on the right. I wasn't thinking it from Toni Collette's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
and this is where me and Payman agree. There's a saying called "the devil is in the details."
Oh, good
And
one.
I thought when I made the question, like I should do it from our perspective. Like, no, the devil's in the details. Let's do
Devil's
it
in
from
the
her
detail.
perspective.
The payment's in the specifics.
Oh,
I see how it is. I see who you align with.
2-0. I'm getting excited.
You're voting for Trump.
2-0. I'm getting excited. I gotta control myself. Charlie lost her head, literally, and then she had to be buried. What color was the casket she was buried in?
Mm.
Was it a black, brown, blue, or red? Catherine.
Did you say black, white, blue, or red?
Black, brown, blue, or red?
I'll say brown.
I'll say blue.
Charlie got lowered into her eternal resting place in a blue casket. Nate's on the board, 2-1-0.
I should have thought of that because of Payman's fave colors.
That's what I went with. That was what I based mine on.
The scene where I think her name was Joyce or Joni was doing the seance with Toni Collette and talking to her grandson. The grandson wrote something on the chalkboard. And what was written on the chalkboard? Was it, I love you, Grandma? I love you, Grandma? I love you, Granny? I love you, Nanny.
It's grandma with no D.
I also think that.
It was I love you, Grandma, with no D. ILUVYUGRANMA. Everybody gets a point except for me and Paymon, so it's 2-2-1.
No.
Yep.
Oh, because you got one earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You got
Blue.
the
Thank
coffee
you.
one. Yep. There's a scene in the classroom where the son bangs his face off the desk because he's Paymon's like having his way with him.
Peter.
Sure, Peter. There's flags above the teacher's head.
Mm.
What country is represented in the very first flag? Was it England, China, Italy, or Ireland? 8.
My turn?
Yep.
Italy.
I'll say Ireland.
It was the flag of the 3 lions, which represents England.
Gone forever.
I almost said it too. I almost
was-
said England too.
It went England, China, and then I stopped looking.
Good. Yeah.
Yep.
You got covered the big ones.
Yep, England and China. So that's 3-2-1. Me and Paymon laughing. 2 questions left. There's a scene where Gabriel Byrne has to pull down the attic door to go look to see what Toni Collette's talking about. He has that little hook thing to pull the latch down. How many attempts did it take to get the hook into the latch? Did he take 4 attempts to do it? Did he take 3 attempts to do it? Did he take 2 attempts to do it? Or did he get it on the first try? And we're going with Nate.
I'm going to say, good question, Brent.
Thank you.
I'm going to say he got it on swipe 2.
That's also what I'm going to guess.
Well, you guys gave Mr. Gabriel Byrne too much credit. He took him 3 times to get it.
3 swipes.
He
3
struggled the first attempt. The second attempt was a little bit better, but he got it on the third.
Gone forever.
Well, question number 7.
Yeah, this one's just for
this
one's for Paymon.
Yeah, this is for Paymon laughing. This sealed the deal. I'm getting all 4 quizzes this month. At the very last scene, Paymon's being hailed to by his disciples, apostles, whatever you want to call them. How many people are hailing to Paimon? Was it 10? Was it 8? Was it 9? Or was it 7?
I'm gonna say 7.
I'm going to say 9.
Well, Paimon just laughed his whole off because more people than that. It was 10. That
10.
includes people with their heads chopped off.
I was going to ask if it included headless people.
The devil's in the details. The devil's in and nakedness and headless people. That's a fucking meeting right there.
Gone forever.
Paimon and Brent win. Kind of mop the floor with you.
Yep.
Quiz number 1 of the
True.
4-month or the month quiz goes to Brent.
Great work, Brent Tucker.
Thank you.
Fantastic work, Brent. I give you a gold medal for quizzes. And speaking of medals, would you like to give this movie some bronze medals?
And silver and gold.
Let's do it.
So I just don't get to say it anymore, do I? This Kate took it over?
You got to get in there.
Okay.
Gotta get
Now
in
it's a
there.
race.
All right. So I'll be ready next week.
Bronze medal. There's not many people, so slim pickings.
I think I'm going to give mine to Alex Wolff, who plays the son Peter. They make him do a lot. He has to do a lot of stuff in this movie. He's got to cry. He's got to get mad. He's got to be disassociated. He just has to do a lot of work, actually. So I think he did a great job. I'm giving mine to Alex Wolff.
I'm going to give mine to Millie Shapiro, who plays Charlie, the 13-year-old girl who gets decapitated. She seems real like a normal person, but actually she was the 7th king of hell, or whoever he was. So she gets a bronze.
Yeah, my bronze is also going to Millie Shapiro. She was 16 when she was in this role, and she had to play the king of hell. It's tough. Did a great job. Good headless acting. Cut a bird's head off. Bronze medal.
Real quick, I want to say that if I was her, I would have asked for a copy of one of my decapitated heads to keep.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
For sure.
For sure.
The
I
bug
would
one?
keep it.
The ant one?
Oh, gross.
I'll keep it in a big jar in the fridge.
I'm giving my silver medal to Alex Wolff, who played Peter, the 16-year-old boy, for the same reasons that Nate said. This young man was emoting, and I believed him. He seemed like a real disaffected, jacked up teen.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he did a great job.
My silver medal is going to Toni Collette. Yeah, it was interesting. I was going to give her the gold, but this family is... Nate cleared it up and helped me a lot with it, that they, they're already possessed and things are already in motion. But these are a bunch of downers. And I didn't like any of them. And then I just didn't like them. But Toni Collette, like the screaming and the wailing, she did really good. Silver. Yeah.
I gave my silver to Ann Dowd, who plays Joan, the lady who does the seance with her. I think Ann Dowd is a really great actor. She is in the Handmaid's Tale show, and she's really, really good in that show.
She was in The Leftovers from way back.
Which I never actually watched, but I heard is pretty good.
It was weird.
Weird
show, yeah.
But anyways, yeah, I think Ann Dowd did a really good job. She especially does the transition of, like, she does seem like genuinely so kind and so nice, and then her, like, at the end, like, talking to Paimon, being like, we will do whatever you want, and you're like, this is crazy, bro. Like, she did a great job. She gets my silver.
Gold medals. My gold medal goes to the lady who can do it all. She can scream, she can cry, she can cut her own head off. She is Toni Collette. I read, and this was probably on Wikipedia, that she had done so many, like, serious depressing movies that she wasn't going to do another one. And then she read this script and was like, I have to do this one. I'm so glad she did. I think she really
Absolutely.
put her heart and soul into it. Gold medal.
And
Yeah.
her head.
Yeah, her head and soul into it. I gave her my gold medal too, Kate. I think she is a great actor, and she was in this show called, I think it's the United States of Terra, if I'm not mistaken, where she plays like someone with multiple personality disorder. So she has like 8 roles in that show, and she was really good in that. She is the first time I like watched, because I told you guys I like watched parts of this movie before because I wanted to see what it was all about, and I was like, I thought she was doing too much when I did that like skip through version, but watching the whole movie together, it's like she actually goes from really small stuff to really big stuff. She has huge range in this movie. So yeah, gold medal, Toni Collette.
My gold medal goes to Ann Dowd. She played. She got Nate's silver medal. She was very. I could tell right away there's something wasn't right about her. But she's got that nice woman next door, neighborly grandmother kind of feel about her, and she organized it. She played the long con. She played the long con with the grandmother, and then Toni Collette, and then next thing you know, she's worshiping the sun through Payman's taking occupancy in the body. I don't. Yeah.
I hope I'm never hard up. If I am not already hard up enough for money that I would sell the souls of my future progeny,
Yeah.
like, come on.
Plus, you think this is gonna work out? He's the king of hell. Do you think you're gonna go down there and it's gonna be like good? Yeah, like this plan worked. Like, what are you talking about?
Right, exactly. He's not following through.
If I did do it when it came time to collect the souls, I would have been like, I just did it as a goof. You thought that was serious?
I was doing a goof, man.
Yeah, it was a big joke. It was a big, it was a bit. And
Gotcha,
we weren't doing
bitch.
bits. Oh, hell doesn't do bits. Sounds like a boring place to me. That's what I would say.
Got him.
Yeah.
Then you choke on your own bile.
Yeah, and then
and die.
he would laugh, and I'm like, "Oh, you do have a sense of humor. You should go by Paymon Wayans."
He's been waiting.
No, it just came to me. That was good. That was good. See, yeah, thank you.
Good.
I didn't get it. Paymon.
Like instead of Damon
Wayans.
Oh,
Paymon
no.
so
Wayans.
funny.
Oh,
The whole
no.
Wayans family is hilarious. Good
Yes,
stuff.
that's funny.
My family's heads keep falling off. No. So it's time to give this movie some ratings, isn't it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes.
The script for this movie. What did you guys think about the script for this film?
I think that for those of us with an average IQ, just a little bit more information would have been helpful, but maybe that would have made it less scary. I don't know. I'm going to give it a 9.
I totally agree with Nate or with Catherine. This script gets a 9 because it took Nate to explain it to me afterwards for me to really truly get its brilliance. So 9.
Yeah, I think since all 3 of us didn't truly understand this movie, even though we were like all watching it, all paying attention, and I still needed a 4-hour explainer. I'm going to say you guys are right. It's a 9. It's so good. And it gets better the more you know, but there's a couple, if they'd done just like a few things to like cue you in to understand it, maybe it would have been less scary, but yeah, I'm going to say 9. It's a 9. The art direction for this film, the sets, the props, the costumes, the special effects, we'll even throw that in there. I'll start us off. It's got miniatures. It's got a whole room full of miniatures. They could have stopped there and it would have been a 10, but then they did like great practical effects. So many good practical effects, like that fucking body floating up into the fucking treehouse, man.
So cool.
God damn, that was cool. It's a 10 for me.
Yeah, we got heads that are falling off. We got bugs on those heads. We have birds getting their heads chopped off. We got Toni Collette banging her head, which was my favorite scene, against the attic door.
Oh, that was crazy.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
love that. We got, like I said, happy naked people that are possessed by the devil. God, it's a 10.
I agree. It's obvious 10. Obvious.
This one's tough. It's really hard for me to figure this out. The music for this movie is very scary. It's very scary.
Scary
But
music.
it's tough to call it music. It's a lot of creakings,
Scary sounds.
a lot of sounds, a lot of, like, I'll put it to you like this. When I was watching the movie, I was happy because I was like, oh, when I do the music for the podcast this week, it's going to take me 10 minutes because I'll just go into the synthesizer, find the spookiest sounds, and just press down all the keys at once. And then that'll be the fucking music compared to arranging Wilson Phillips last week, which took me like 8 hours. Yeah. So I'll give it a 8.5. I'll give it an 8.5. It is scary as fuck, but I don't know if it's music.
I'm going to follow Nate's lead because I trust his judgment and give it an 8.5.
I would like to follow your guys' lead as well because I trust both your judgments. But if they had to put the song "Bang Your Head" in during the car when he was driving fast and erratically to get her to the hospital and she lost her head by banging it off the telephone pole, that song "Bang Your Head" that would have been perfect. Would have got 10. 8.
I better find out. I think this is an American psychological horror movie.
Horror.
Yeah, an American psychological horror. As an American psychological horror, what would you rate this movie?
Oh, I would give it a 10. I would give it a 10.
Yeah, me too. It was fucking scary. It's on a different caliber than most horror movies. Like, there's kind of this talk in film circles where they're like, horror doesn't get the respect it deserves. And it's like, no, it does. Horror movies usually are very bad. They're poorly made and the stories don't make sense and they're corny. This is like as good as it gets as far as horror movies gets. This is a 10.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of psychological things, and the fact that I have to rewatch this now because my new information, it's a 10.
And then the final category of the show is Brent's month. Spooky, scary movies that actually scare you, that are really scary and are actually scary.
Big boy scary movies.
Big boy scaries. This movie is scary as fuck. It is, especially the first time. Like, if I hadn't have watched the scary parts, I would have been scared as fuck. So I'm giving it a 10.
This movie is so terrible. It's very scary. It's a 10. Yes. Everything's going to get a 10. I'm going to be so scared. I'm not looking forward to this. Like, I was, and now I'm not.
Yeah, this is a serious time this month. We have to put our big boy pants on. This gets a 10. Anytime someone cuts their head off with piano wire or bangs their head off against an attic, floats into a tree house, you get a 10.
Yeah. It was a great movie, actually. I think this guy's got something.
This guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's got something cooking.
So the next one he's doing is called Eddington, and it is a contemporary Western black comedy.
Oh, he's doing a normal movie.
With Joaquin Phoenix, Pedro Pascal, Emma Stone, Austin Butler, Luke Bryan.
I've had a little bit too much Emma Stone lately, but I'll still do it.
Oh, I love Pedro Pascal. All right, hater.
This movie gets a 47.3. It gets a 47.3. It's a great film.
And I just want to follow up with Jeremy bought a pair of really big jeans.
Okay.
Remember, I called that big jeans are coming back?
Oh, okay. What you're saying is big jeans are coming back.
Are they Jinkos? Do you get some Jinks?
But I will send the picture of the jeans to you guys. I'll do it right now, actually. I just wanted to confirm that, once again, I know what I'm talking about.
And I'll send you... I got Jules' jeans yesterday she picked out, and they are white leg, so I'll send that. You can tell me
jeans if brand is right.
If they're big. If they're big
I'm just saying.
I do want to shout out, because I did watch this whole 4 hours and 38-minute video, that if anybody wanted to like go insanely deep on this movie. It's called Hereditary, The Complete Guide, Everything Explained by Novum on YouTube, Novum.
Novum.
So good.
That's a hardcore name.
He put in the work, and then the Midsummer one, 6 hours and 55 minutes. Jesus Christ, bud. Jesus, bud. Okay, good work, man. Good work. Now it's time to pick the movie for next week, and I'm ready if you're not, Kate.
Well, let's do it, sir. You go right ahead.
I was dreading this because I was like, I don't like any scary movies. There's like not a scary movie on earth that I enjoy. So what am I going to pick? But then I remembered there actually is a scary movie that I love. And that movie stars Kurt Russell, Keith David, and returning hero Wilford Brimley. We're watching the 1982 horror sci-fi The Thing.
Ooh.
Thing?
The Thing. A John Carpenter's masterpiece.
I like the very first picture that comes
up. Is this in the cold?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in Alaska.
Yes, I remember this being very scary when I was a kid.
Scared the shit out of me, and I also love Kurt Russell, who I don't think we've seen yet on the podcast. I'm pretty sure we haven't.
I don't think so.
Not yet.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, not yet. So it'll be a first time for him, who I love him, and we all love Brim for the win, Wilford Brimley.
Yeah.
And Keith David is also fucking awesome.
Have you seen this, Brent?
Nope.
All right.
Exciting. So that's what we'll watch next week. And that means all that's left to do is say goodnight, Kate.
Good night, Kate.
Oh, you did it. No, I'm just going to say goodnight, Kate, because I can't be that.
Somewhere in the Antarctic, something ancient, something alien, something. John Carpenter's The Thing, rated R.
I would be such a better woman than you.
I'm sure you would, Brent.